Hello and welcome to the 2019 Race of Champions from Mexico City, the first time this off-season motorsport spectacular has been held in Latin America. A fitting way to mark the 30th running of the event.
Welcome to Mexico City.
Welcome to the Race of Champions.
Ándale, ándale.
Bring on the noise.
This is ROC 2019.
Welcome to the ROC Nations Cup, the battle to determine the world's fastest nation.
I'm here representing Team GB with Andy Prio with a combined age of 91 years old. So we're hoping experience is going to see us come through and win the Nations Cup.
Except for myself, I think we're pretty good, but let's hope we do a good run, a clean run. I think then we should be not too bad.
We've got the spirit, and we'll try everything to get the best result for our country.
The track is designed for a pursuit-style race with the opponents facing each other on the start line. Each driver starts at a point halfway around the track from their rival. As ever, both drivers race in identical cars. At the midpoint, they cross the line again and then chase each other down to the finish. Ten teams of 2, split by country or region, compete in 3 groups. Each pair will take on every other pair in their group once. The team with the most wins tops the group and progresses. In the semi-finals, the winners of Group A will face the winners of Group B. Group C's winner will race the second-place team from Group A. It's a best-of-3 format with 2 teams progressing to the final. With Sebastian Vettel and new teammate Mick Schumacher gunning for a 9th title for Team Germany, can anyone stop them here in Mexico? The first chance for the Foro Sol crowd to meet their heroes before the racing gets underway, and what a lineup. Like gladiators entering the amphitheatre ahead of battle, they acknowledge the cheers of the crowd while focusing on the job that lies ahead. Here are the teams then. Team USA, Joseph Newgarden and Ryan Hunter-Reay. David Coulthard and Andy Prio race as Team GB. Esteban Gutierrez and IndyCar's Pato O'Ward are Team Mexico. Formula E's Lucas de Grassi and Helio Castroneves form Team Brazil. A new lineup for Team Germany as Mick Schumacher joins his father's old teammate Sebastian Vettel. Ruben Garcia won ROC Mexico, beating 8 other drivers to qualify as Suarez's teammate. Christopherson and Christensen are Team Nordic. F1's Pierre Gasly and Loic Duval are Team France. And the ERock winners Enzo Bonito and James Baldwin represent Team Sim Racing All-Stars. Well, let's have a look at what's in the paddock. The Ariel Atom Cup is the most single-seater-like of all the cars, powered by a 2-litre engine generating 245 brake horsepower. The power-to-weight ratio and braking performance are its key strengths. The KTM Crossbow is a lightweight sports car stripped down to bare essentials. 300 brake horsepower powers the engine, and the handling is exceptional. The perfect machine for the Race of Champions, the ROC car performs well in any conditions and can be charged around the most twisty of tracks. A favourite with the drivers who've been racing it for 20 years now. The RX Supercar Light made its ROC debut in Miami 2017. Designed for rallycross by Sweden's Olsbergs MSE, it's another car perfectly suited for the twisty turns of Race of Champions. The Speed XX UTV lightweight construction creates another nimble buggy. It's an off-road specialist to be raced on tarmac, so it'll challenge the field here in Mexico. The leaping and leaning stadium super trucks are back and sure to be a favourite with the Mexican fans at the Foro Sol. Aside from how great they look, the sound of these V8 engines is enough to send shivers through the spine. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, the Vool is a lightweight road-legal supercar built right here in Mexico City. So here's the teams for Group A in the ROC Nations Cup: Germany, Mexico, Infinita Mexico and France. Four-time F1 champion Sebastian Vettel took on France's Pierre Gasly in the first heat. Vettel searching for his 8th ROC Nations Cup title.
It is Sebastian Vettel. versus Pierre Gasly, the Red Bull Racing driver for 2019. And away they go off the line, and we're going to follow Gasly into turn 1 and 2. A very tight, long right-hander now down the back stretch. Did they clutch another gear up into the long left-hander here? Very, very fast around the top half of the track. Then it tightens up and sweeps through a left, right, left combination before Gasly then takes the right-hander, which will bring him onto the back stretch.
So that's Vettel in the black KTM crossbow there, so we should get a sense. And it looks like Gasly's a little bit ahead, but we may be a stagger. We'll get to know, because we've not really seen them racing at full speed during practice. So we'll get to know what the stagger is like at half point, the split time, and then as they cross the line again, that will be the end of the race.
Gasly then around the top penultimate corner for him, sweeping through the back stretch. A left-hander to finish the lap for him. He'll be able to get on the power early, but Vettel through the final corner for him too. Oh, right, it's going to be very close to Vettel, just 54.9514 for Sebastian Vettel.
Vettel won 6 of his 7 ROC titles as the young protege to F1 legend Michael Schumacher. Now Vettel is the elder statesman to Schumacher Jr. The young German beat Le Mans star Loic Duval of France for Germany's second win. Team Mexico's Esteban Gutierrez then beat Memo Rojas of Infinitum Mexico in the first outing for the KTM Crossbows. Gutierrez's teammate Pato O'Ward earned them a second point with a win against Benito Guerra to the delight of the fans. Team Mexico were now level on 2 points apiece with Germany. Remember, only the top 2 in this group will make it to the semis. Vettel then jumped into the rallycross car, ideally suited to the tight twisty turns of the Forosol track. The F1 star was up at the halfway point and held on to take Germany's third win. Benito Guerra started in the outside lane against Schumacher. A lead at halfway was essential. Guerra just held on to win by fractions of a second. Team France hadn't started well, and F1's Pierre Gasly was struggling to get to grips with the rallycross car. His opponent Gutierrez's victory then moved Mexico level on points with group leaders Germany. ROC rookie Pato O'Ward was relishing racing in front of his home crowd, but it was Le Mans winner Loic Duval who won this aerial atom encounter. Pierre Gasly took France's second win, beating Mexico City local Memo Rojas in the Voul. Guerra, who had come good with his victory over Schumacher, maintained the momentum, beating Duval in the UTV. Vettel on the inside lane knew he had the advantage in the latter section. He was down at the halfway point, but came back to win and seal Germany's place in the semi-finals. O'Ward is from Monterrey and again thrilled the home support in the final race of Group A. In the KTM Crossbows, Schumacher held a slender lead at the midpoint, but would it be enough? No! O'Ward snatched the win, and both Mexico and Germany would be deserved semi-finalists. Now, before the main event, the drivers were put to the test at the ROC Factor Skills Challenge. The aim, to complete the circuit with no faults in the fastest time. Now, this would bear relevance as the tiebreak to determine the outcome if and when teams were level on points in the group stages of the racing. Now, by winning this challenge, Sebastian Vettel ensured that Team Germany would win Group A. A different set of skills were on display as 4 of the world's finest sim racers competed in the ERock World Final on Saturday morning.
I would be lying if I said being a racing driver wouldn't still be a dream, and this has really highlighted that it's not that far away.
Thousands of drivers set tens of thousands of laps to get to the ERock World Finals in Mexico City. These simulator drivers that have qualified for the final win the right to race on the actual circuit against the world's greatest drivers. We've got David Coulthard, Terry Grant and Tom Christensen, an esteemed panel of judges who will help us to understand just how well they adapt from simulator world to real world. three teams in Group B: Brazil, Team Telcel Mexico, and stepping out of the virtual world, it's the Team Sim Racing All-Stars. A good start for Team Brazil. ROC rookie Lucas de Grassi won the opening race of Group B against local hero Daniel Suarez. ROC Mexico winner Ruben Garcia crossed the finish line first, but got a penalty for touching the wall. Helio Castroneves took the win and put Team Brazil in a good position to qualify. Team Sim All-Stars versus Brazil, and Enzo Benito beat de Grassi, a great result for the 2018 ERock champ, and a first win for the Team Sim Racing All-Stars. But the delight didn't last too long. This year's ERock winner, James Baldwin, lost to Castroneves. That puts Team Brazil on top of the group with 3 wins. Then, a first win for Telcel Mexico. Suarez defeated Benito in the KTM Crossbows. Team Sim Racing All-Stars missed their chance to catch Team Brazil. And James Baldwin's defeat to Ruben Garcia in the last race of Group B was merely a side note. Confirmation then of the results from Group B. Team Brazil progressed to the semi-final, where Schumacher and Vettel await. International stunt driving legend Terry Grant, who also helps design the track here at Race of Champions, along with the Freestyle Masters Mexico FMX riders, wowed the Forosol crowds between the races. So here's the lineup for the last group, Group C, the heavyweights of Team Nordic, Team GB and Team USA. Time for the first appearance of the big stadium super trucks with 2 big names. Now, it's a tricky beast that Coulthard just about mastered, sending Christensen into a spin. First win for Team Nordic. Rallycross ace Johan Kristoffersen got to grips with the KTM Crossbow to beat 2015 ROC Nations Cup winner Andy Prio. Mr. Le Mans Tom Christensen hammered home the advantage against Joseph Newgarden of Team USA, the Dane taking a big step towards that semi-final matchup against Team Mexico. A third win for Team Nordic would surely make them unbeatable now for their Group C competitors. JK dispatches Ryan Hunter-Ray. Reigning ROC champion David Coulthard then won his final heat of the group. But then it was down to his teammate, Andy Prio, to keep their qualification hopes alive. However, Prio could not tame the stadium super truck. This spin handed victory to the Americans. So Team Nordic came out on top of Group C with 3 wins and claimed the final semi-final berth against Team Mexico. So the ROC Nations Cup semi-finals and final are up next. Team Germany's hopes of a 9th ROC title are very much alive, but they're going to have to fight for it. The superstar driver lineup at Race of Champions is always up for finding new ways to compete. An additional matchup was run this year and the local fans loved it. Mexico against the rest of the world. And despite the home support, this time the rest of the world won. And then they just needed to test just how many of them they could get on top of Kristoffersen's rallycross car. Now, Now back to the ROC Nations Cup and the best of 3 semi-finals. First up, Group A winners Team Germany against Brazil. Team Germany stalwart Sebastian Vettel against Formula E's Lucas de Grassi for Brazil. And despite being behind at the split, ultimately it was a clear win for Vettel in the ROC car. First blood to the Germans. Mick Schumacher settled quickly into the rallycross car for the second race against Helio Castroneves. And this win took Germany straight through to the ROC Nations Cup final. A special race for him, as sitting alongside him, continuing the long Schumacher family tradition with Race of Champions, sat his sister Gina Maria as co-driver.
How do you feel after that?
Good. No, I had my sister on board, so I guess that bring me luck. It was good. Happy.
Was she enjoying it or was she terrified?
No, she was enjoying it. I saw her cheering on, so good.
Right, now no pressure you two, but Team Germany have been very good over the years. You kind of can't just get to the final, you've got to go and win it, yeah?
Well, we'll see. It gets tougher, so we'll see how we get on then.
Some more spectacular stunt work from Terry Grant and Lee Bowers here, giving NFL star Marcel Darius a very close encounter. In the second semi-final, Team Nordic, Christensen and Kristoffersen would battle local heroes Patricio O'Ward and Esteban Gutierrez. Christensen versus Gutierrez in the ROC cars. A reminder, on this pursuit track, each racer competes on exactly the same track. They just start separated by the distance of half the track. Gutierrez held a 2-second lead at the midpoint, but would it be enough? As they came to the line, it was the Dane who edged it by just over half a second. Now Patricio O'Ward had to beat Kristoffersen to keep Mexico's hopes alive. And they'd be racing in the Swedish-built rallycross cars, surely a huge advantage to the Swede.
Here we go. It's 1-0 to Nordic. Can Mexico pull it back? Good starts from both of them. O'Ward's a little delay in bringing second gear in on the run up to the first corner. And it is going to be so hard to beat Kristoffersen at his own game, in his own car. I think if anybody can do it with the support of the home crowd and through what he's shown us so far this weekend, and indeed over the last 12 months, it will be Paddock O'Ward who is into the final corner of his first half of the lap. Kristoffersen goes over the line, so too does O'Ward. The gap between them is 2.3 seconds. It is close, much closer than I think anybody would have expected between Kristoffersen and O'Ward. O'Ward now up into turn 3. If he can get the back end out, keep the power down and start to thread it through, I think O'Ward's got a chance. I really think he's got a chance. Coming down here now, one corner left for O'Ward. Kristoffersen isn't through the final corner yet, but O'Ward is down and across the line. Can O'Ward do it over the line? Oh, that is close. Oh, the closest race we have seen today, and O'Ward so nearly did it.
Maybe I go in the rally car. Anything I need to know, you throw the... Yeah?
Yes. You have to really slip the clutch in the start.
Yeah.
But I mean, slip it like an animal.
Yes.
Don't do too many pre-launches, because the clutch gets hot.
That was close, man. I saw both of us coming to the finish line, and I was like, did I get him? But then I saw his name, and I said, it must have been by nothing. And they told me like 0.09. He beat me fair and square, and it's been awesome. It's been great.
And so to the final, Team Germany against Team Nordic, Sebastian Vettel, Mick Schumacher against Johan Kristoffersen and Tom Christensen. The first race, Christensen against Vettel, and this is a fight we've seen many times in Race of Champions history. Sebastian Vettel getting the first score on the board. But Tom Kristensen had listened to his teammate Kristoffersen's advice on how to drive this rallycross car. Vettel's lead was over a second at the split, but it wasn't enough. 1-1, the atmosphere in the Foro Sol was electric, and Vettel's teammate Mick Schumacher looked on anxiously. Now the decider between these two ROC Nations Cup veterans, a tough third race, and a very close finish. TK beat the 7 times ROC Nations Cup winner Vettel. A shock result, Germany 1-0 down in the final, and now it all came down to Mick Schumacher to save them. ROC rookie Mick had been in fantastic form throughout the day. The pressure was now on, and his mental resolve would be tested. It was in his hands to save Team Germany. Schumacher under 2 seconds up at the split, and it would be tight. Just enough to keep German hopes alive. Incredibly close. Win this race and Schumacher would level the final. These Vool 05 cars, upgraded for 2019, are well suited to this track. Now, having swapped starting slots for the second race, Kristoffersen needed a lead at the split. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough. An incredible drive by Mick Schumacher, showing nerves of steel and making sure there would now be a decider, Schumacher versus Kristensen, in a best-of-3 shootout.
This isn't an easy final. How's your nerves?
Now I'm relaxed. It's in Mick's hands. He's doing well. So it was quite close, especially the last run with Tom. So yeah. Obviously now Mick's got to keep it up.
What's going on now?
So they do a final, Mick against Tom, and we're doing best of 3.
Here we go then. The decider. Best of 3. Germany versus Nordic. Schumacher versus Kristensen, and away they go. Kristensen tucked it over, he runs very wide on the exit of turn 2, does Tom Kristensen. Mick Schumacher tucked up and very clean through 6, 7, 8, and running up into turn 9. Tom Kristensen now coming down through 4, 5, 6, the switchbacks before he gets to turn 6, and up and over the line. But Kristensen looks to have made some time back after that very wide run through turn 1, and Schumacher got the back end out and would have lost time through turn 12. Oh, it is 2.5, 2.3, my apologies, and that is precisely the amount of time that we think is the crossover point.
Yeah, so this is going to be another tight finish. And it's interesting if he made the right decision to go on the inside for race 1, because there is no difference, but they might feel like there's a psychological advantage. If they won a race from one start line, they want to go back there again.
And Kristensen wins. Schumacher getting his back end out a little bit on the run down through 5 and into 6, and he'll be kicking himself for that. The pressure on Mick Schumacher. If Kristensen wins, Team Nordic are champions. Great start again from Kristensen, great start from Schumacher. And Schumacher's got it really tidily through turns 1 and 2 and blasts up towards turn 3 in the white KTM crossbow. But quite stuttery, yeah. Mick Schumacher. Out of 3 and into 4.
And sliding as well.
Just as he was in that first race. The gap won't be huge. 27.1 plays 29.0. It's less than 2 seconds, so it is still advantage Tom Kristensen. Mick Schumacher has to have half a lap of his life in order to beat the wily old Tom Kristensen in that KTM crossbow. So much experience, so much knowledge of this championship, of this kind of course, of this kind of competition. Through the final corner, Schumacher though, with a really good run. It's Kristensen though. It is Kristensen who will be champion for Team Nordic, beating Mick Schumacher here in Mexico.
The experience and class of Kristensen driving Team Nordic to another ROC Nations Cup victory.
Tom Kristensen, congratulations, ROC Nations Cup champion again.
Thank you very much. It was a very, very tight fight. I mean, you saw with Sebastian, and obviously Mick had a brilliant fight with Johan, and that brought them to the final. So he should be very, very proud of himself, and I'm incredibly proud to always, anytime, you can beat a Schumacher.
Give it up, please, for our ROC Nations runners-up, Team Germany, and our champions of 2019, Team Nordic.
What an opening day here. The 2019 ROC Nations Cup champions Christensen and Kristoffersen of Team Nordic victorious, and the ROC crowd had been treated to an absolute classic day's competition, Race of Champions style. The stage was set for the following day's Race of Champions, the individual competition to determine the champion of champions. More edge-of-the-seat racing in prospect here in Mexico City.